Welcome to our channel, a place where polished smiles conceal lethal intentions and the quietest choices carry the deadliest consequences. Behind the gates of Fairmont Crest, power is never innocent, loyalty is always conditional, and betrayal often wears the face of love. What you are about to uncover is not just another chapter in this unfolding drama, but a moment where rage, truth, and survival collide. One man is pushed to the edge by a hidden conspiracy, and one decision threatens to tear open secrets that were never meant to see the light of day. This story does not ask who is guilty. It asks how far the damage will spread once the truth is finally spoken. Stay with us, because beyond these gates, nothing remains buried forever. Bill's anger does not erupt all at once. It accumulates, compresses, grows silently with every moment he becomes aware of the damage Hayley has inflicted on him. What she has done is not merely a wrongful act, but a prolonged, concealed betrayal, hidden beneath what was once called trust. Bill is not only confronting physical harm or the threat to his life, he is facing the collapse of a belief he once considered unbreakable. Within the suffocating stillness of Fairmont Crest, where every wall guards its secrets, Bill begins to re-examine every sign he once chose to ignore. Details that had seemed insignificant now align into a terrifyingly coherent pattern. Each memory returns stripped of neutrality, stained with suspicion and rage. Bill understands that the danger did not arise from a moment of impulse, but from an intention nurtured long enough to become an outright conspiracy. Being pushed to the edge of survival forces Bill to accept an undeniable truth. Hayley did not merely hurt him, she deliberately placed him in a position where he could lose everything. That realization drives itself into his mind like a blade, twisting relentlessly. Like, his anger is no longer simple fury, but the instinctive response of someone who has been made to confront the fact that his life was treated as expendable. Yet rage is not the only force consuming Bill. Running parallel to it is hesitation, a brutal internal conflict. Like, ending Hayley's murderous plot means exposing everything, unleashing consequences beyond his full control. Bill knows the weight of an accusation in a world where reputation and power are protected at any cost. Every step forward risks triggering a collapse that cannot be undone. In Bill's perception now, Hayley is no longer the person he once knew. She has become the embodiment of imminent danger, of a moral line twisted beyond recognition. What enrages him most is not only the plot itself, but the cold calculation required to conceive it, the resolve needed to see it through. He is forced to accept that certain boundaries have been crossed, and once those boundaries are broken, there is no returning to what existed before. Bill's decision to put an end to Hayley's scheme does not come from a sudden burst of heroism, but from a prolonged, agonizing struggle within himself. He understands that silence would not be neutrality. It would be complicity. The choice before him is no longer between forgiveness and anger, but between survival and destruction. As Bill accepts that he must act, the atmosphere around him grows heavier than ever. Every thought carries the gravity of consequence. To accuse Hayley is to push her toward a devastating end, yet to remain silent is to accept that his life has been and could again be deemed worthless. The fragile balance between justice and cruelty leaves him with no painless option. Well, Bill's anger has now lost its recklessness. It hardens into a cold, deliberate resolve. He is not seeking revenge in its rawest form. He is seeking an ending. Well, an end to fear, an end to hidden calculations, an end to the possibility that Hayley can continue to cause harm, not only to him, but to anyone else. Still, Deep down, Bill knows that an accusation is never merely a personal act. It is a spark that ignites a chain reaction, especially in a community where every relationship is intertwined and every secret holds value. When he crosses this line, he will not only be confronting Hayley, but everything the truth drags into the light. Well, though Hayley is not physically present in Bill's moment of decision, she lingers like a shadow pressing down on every thought. The question of her fate echoes relentlessly in his mind. Will she pay with the very pain she inflicted, or will the exposure of the truth deliver a punishment far more merciless than any single consequence? The tension reaches its breaking point when Bill realizes his decision is no longer hypothetical. It is imminent, a threshold about to be crossed. In the instant before action, all emotion seems to fall silent, replaced by a terrifying calm. It is not peace, but the stillness before a storm. Well, Bill stands on the edge of an unknowable future. Ahead lies truth, accusation, and the possibility that Hayley will be forced to face a devastating outcome born of her own choices. Yet, he also knows that once the truth is spoken, it is not only Hayley who will be judged. He himself will no longer be the man he once was. And as Bill's final resolve takes shape, the question is no longer whether Hayley will pay a price, but how much will be destroyed before everything truly comes to an end. The gates of Fairmont Crest remain closed, but what is about to be exposed inside may ensure that it is never again a place of safety. As the truth inches closer to the surface, nothing inside Fairmont Crest remains untouched. Bill's choice, once made in silence, now hangs over everything like a gathering storm. What began as personal betrayal has evolved into a reckoning that threatens to fracture lives, alliances, and carefully constructed illusions. Well, the gates that once symbolized protection now feel more like barriers trapping secrets inside, waiting to explode. There is no victory in this moment, only consequence. Bill stands at the center, aware that exposing the truth does not restore what was lost. Well, it only replaces one form of suffering with another. The anger that once fueled him has cooled into something far more dangerous: certainty. And certainty leaves no room for retreat. Once spoken, the truth cannot be softened, reshaped, or taken back. It demands payment from everyone it touches. Hayley's fate lingers in the balance, suspended between exposure and collapse. Whether she faces justice, ruin, or something far worse, one truth remains unavoidable. Her actions have set forces in motion that no one can fully control anymore. In Fairmont Crest, punishment is rarely clean, and accountability often arrives disguised as chaos. What appears to be an ending may only be the beginning of a deeper unraveling. The tension does not dissipate, it tightens. Every unanswered question sharpens the fear that more damage lies ahead. Trust, once broken, does not heal quietly. It corrodes, spreading doubt through every relationship, every memory, every promise once believed to be real. The past refuses to stay buried, and the future offers no guarantees of redemption. As the gates remain closed and the lights inside continue to glow, one haunting reality settles in. Survival here is never about innocence, only about timing. And as Bill steps forward into the aftermath of his decision, the line between justice and destruction blurs beyond recognition. Because in this world, the truth doesn't set anyone free, it simply decides who falls next. What happens after the truth is revealed will not be a resolution, but a reckoning. Well, and the consequences waiting beyond this moment may prove far more devastating than the secret itself. Well, beyond the gates, the storm has only just begun.